Hi there, Mr. Farlow here, and today I'll be talking about the elements of drama. These elements are the basic building blocks of theatre and essentially what separates it from other literary forms. Element 1 is role or character, and as you may have guessed, this refers to the process of creating a character in the lead up to a performance. In order to do this, an actor must understand their character inside and out. In this way, it's best for us as actors to imagine our characters as our closest friends. Then you would presume that we would have a good understanding of his or her attitudes and beliefs. For example, how do they feel about the world? How do they feel about others? What do they think of themselves and their circumstance? It's also important for us as actors to understand a character's physicality, and this is the way that they move through space and/or hold themselves. This adds another element to our performance and makes the character more believable for those watching. For example, if we had a strong and confident character, they would stand at their full height. They would keep their shoulders relatively stiff, and perhaps they would push their chest out to reveal that confidence to the audience through their physical gestures. Alternatively, if we had a character who lacked confidence, they might hold their shoulders slouched and they might keep their eyes downcast, again using gesture to reveal the way that they are feeling or thinking in that particular situation. Even professional actors give many hours to developing a character. In preparation for his role as the Joker, Heath Ledger was said to have locked himself away in a hotel room for no less than a month. In this time, he wrote diary reflections and reactionary pieces to news articles in order to better understand the psychotic nature of the character and make it more believable for his audience. Our next element is focus, and this can be broken down into 4 simple fields. The first one is the focus of the scene, and this refers to the main occurrence within a scene. So if we have 2 detectives trying to defuse a bomb, that defusal would be the main occurrence and hence the focus of the scene. The second field is the focus of the audience, and this simply refers to the ways in which their attention is maintained and directed. Next, we have the focus of the character, and this refers to the character's objectives or motivations. What is it that they're trying to achieve at this specific point in time? Finally, we have the focus of the actor, which refers to their ability to sustain a character throughout the duration of the performance. Element 3, tension. Tension can be thought of as conflict or suspense. It's basically the force that generates intense emotions like intrigue, excitement, or fear. More specifically, it refers to the moments leading up to an emotional release. Think of a horror film and the moment when we as an audience know that the character is about to make a grave mistake. We're sitting there covering our eyes, biting our fingernails, screaming at the television. It's that feeling. That is what tension is. Element 4, space. And this refers to the way the acting space is used by theatre professionals. Note that I've said theatre professionals and not just actors. A set designer, for example, will have to think about the furnishings and props and how they can inform the audience of a scene's location. Directors will need to think about the space and how they can use it to create dramatic meaning. The stage can be divided into 3 vertical planes known as levels, and these can be used in order to tell the audience about a character's emotional experience. For example, if we have a character at a low level, they might be feeling vulnerable, upset, or depressed. If we have 2 characters at a medium level having a conversation, they might be presented to the audience as equals. Whereas if we were to have a character on an elevated platform talking down to other characters, they would be presented as a superior character. We can also use distance to demonstrate the relationship between characters. If 2 characters are close together, it might help the audience understand their relationship as being one that is personal and/or intimate. If we have 2 characters who are separated by a great distance, it might symbolize a relationship breakdown. Element 5, mood. And this refers specifically to the emotional journey of the audience. So as a result of watching a performance, an audience might be made to feel sad, frustrated, angry, or a sense of desire. Mood in drama can be created by a variety of things: the script, the expression of the actors, sound, lighting, and so on. It's important that we, as actors, think about how we want the audience to feel at specific moments within our performance in order to enhance the dramatic meaning. Element 6, contrast. Now, contrast deals with two things. Number 1, dramatic meaning, and number 2, the enjoyment of the audience. For me personally, I think the enjoyment of the audience is more important because we as actors are attempting to keep our audience engaged, entertained, and thinking. What we want to see in drama in order to promote these ideas is a great deal of variety. So if we have a lot of stillness in our performance, contrast it with movement. If we have a lot of sound, perhaps a screaming match between two characters, follow it up with silence, and this will help to build the tension. If we have one particular emotion pushed, sadness for example, and that were to remain constant throughout the text, it would become quite boring and tiresome for the audience, so contrast it with different emotions. Element 6, symbol. Now, dramas are produced to a great extent. That means that they are thought about in a very deep way. And we, as actors or directors, can use certain things to symbolize others. For example, we could use props. So rather than have a scene that depicts a divorce, we could have a prop in the shape of a torn wedding photo. We can use gestures. For example, a finger on the lips would symbolize silence. We can also use expressions. For example, a jaw dropped and a mouth open would represent surprise. So think about how we can have a large impact within a small gesture. Those are the 6 elements of drama that we will be focusing on throughout our course of study. Make sure you use them to your advantage, whether your performance be big or small, and I guarantee they'll be more entertaining as a result.